Being a fire performer, you do get to work with, well, a wide variety of select individuals, unique individuals. The group that I work with is the Fire Matrix.
What we like to do is actually build a show where we play off of each other, where we can light our chucks off of one of the fire eater's torches, or we can swing in a spiral motion so his trails accent my trails. It really is a group effort in knowing where the other person is on stage, because it is still fire and you must respect it.
Fire eating and fire breathing is one of the most dangerous forms of fire entertainment, as well as swinging the fire. Those of you who are familiar with fire performers will also know of the Polynesian poi swingers. Now, the type of style we do is nowhere near like the poi swingers of the Polynesian tribes in Hawaii, but it does have its own ratio patterns.
The martial arts system that we incorporate is a weapon system. It actually originated right here in Jacksonville, Florida. It was passed down from instructor to instructor and now to us. It's really where a lot of our originality comes from.
I already was confident in swinging the chucks to swing the chucks on fire. It just was a gradual step into it. It wasn't like I didn't know anything that I was doing and then jumped right into fire.
Our choreography is something I think is very unique. Instead of having just one person who's very talented, you have three very young, very talented performers who get on stage and really give you a hell of a show.
The injuries and risks involved in fire performing, as those of you who are performers know, the burns, the serious burns and fatalities that fire performers can and sometimes will experience in their performance of the art.
When the fire is about a 6-inch fireball on each hand that's whizzing by each ear and around my head, it tends to get pretty scary. I can't even describe the sound. It is just loud.
Every time you're in there and you start whipping that fire around your head, or you're breathing it, or you're eating it, you know, you get this feeling inside like you know that something's going to happen, but when it doesn't, it's the biggest thrill in the world. It gives you a nice little breath of relief at the end of it.
My favorite part of the show is truthfully the finale. Breathing fire, eating fire, swinging fire. You just have a really good time with it. And like I was saying before, it's really a euphoric experience because there's so much going on and it's so dangerous. You get such a personal adrenaline rush that it's really hard to beat in the day-to-day life.
The best way to prevent any kind of fire injury when it comes to this kind of thing is just don't do it. We've all been burned once or twice doing this, and it's very dangerous, and I wouldn't suggest to anybody who is sane to do this.
We had other performers that weren't so lucky. All the precautions were taken, and luckily the fire performer is still with us today, but it wasn't a pretty sight.
We were trying something new, and I inadvertently set my butt on fire. Now, a good friend of mine came up and decided he was going to kick me in the butt while I was swinging fire, so it put me out and saved me. But when you're experimenting with new things to try to make the show better, things happen, but it's all for the good of the show.
The more dangerous it is, the better the show is. So we always kind of come up with more dangerous and more interesting ways to perform and do what we do. It's not if you'll get burned, but when you'll get burned.